Well, hello there. My name is Icon, and welcome back to the next episode of our Let's Play Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup with the adventures of the mighty Minotaur monk of the Shining One. So, on the last episode, we finished the vaults down to level 4. We picked up our second rune, and I was a bit indecisive where to go next. If I go depths or Elvish Halls next, but I've thought a while about it and I've decided to try to clear out a bit of the depths first before we enter the Elvish Halls. Let's stick our head into this affair and see how well we can manage down there. So we're instantly surrounded by a lot of baddies here. That's not the kind of situation you want to see if you enter the depths, but this happens more often than not. I'm already used to this. So there's also player Ghost. It's a fighter with a crap ton of HP. So I'm gonna sit out one more turn, one more turn, one more turn, and now let's get upstairs and pick up some baddies here and kill them here. And this scenario brings me to the decision that I think it's better to follow in the Elvish Halls for a few steps now. So I hear a distant wind. That's the indicator for the Salt Desolation vault. It's a pretty new one. I've only played it once so far. So let's hope it's not gonna be my demise here, because we definitely want to run for this. So we magic map this. It's probably not here. It's probably up there. It's a long way to go, but we're gonna try to manage. So let's rush towards these two entrances up there. Let's have a look how to walk, but I think it's this door I am gonna go for. So we're here. Yep, that's the correct entrance. The angels are for some reason fighting me. Guys, we're on the same side. But, well, they don't listen to me. So let's whack them. They're doing almost no damage to me, but looks like we're doing the same here. They're spamming their minor healing to keep themselves alive. It's a pretty long fight here, but seeing how little damage they did to us wasn't too bad. So there goes the Salt Desolation. It's an interesting area. Let's check out the Servant of Whispers. It's mostly open terrain, divided by a few of those clouds, which make kind of a virtual terrain here. Those servants, they can shut down the clouds, so you got no cover anymore, because as you can see, we're pretty covered here by those clouds. But yeah, so this warlock summoned a bunch of people. We're not too endangered here. So there goes the next warlock. Really want to pick him up. And as far as I remember, the last time I was here, I was with a caster, spellcaster, and it went pretty good. So the Servant of Whispers turned off the clouds for a moment, that is. And there goes a Rendard amulet. Let's have a look at it. It's minus resist cold, but the rest is really nice. It's resist poison, dex +8, faith and stealth. We got no R poison right now, so there goes another unique ring. It's invisibility, resist poison, EV +4, so it's gonna replace my normal ring of poison resistance here. There's another amulet. It's a garment combined with a resist cold. That's actually a bit more useful than the other stuff I've found before, but not too much. Oops. the wrong item. I wanted to drop this book immediately. So there's a Ragged Hierophant, which it's Resonance Strike. Okay, so this is getting more and more dangerous the harder I'm encircled by enemies. So there's a Translucent Scale Mail, but don't feel like it's gonna compete with my +5 plate armor here. Also, I don't want to switch the general damage reduction from the plate armor, and this is a bad situation. I'm absolutely surrounded here. There's a lot of summoned people around me, so I'm gonna pop a scroll of teleportation and get away from here. But trouble goes here as well, but we're clearing this out rather quickly. There's another Crystal Guardian up, but the Crystal Guardians are pretty dangerous if you're not resistant to fire and cold, but if you're resistant to those, it's okay. Goes another Saltling, Imperial Myrmidon. They have a lot of unfriendly hexes, but with our magic resistance it's really no deal to survive this. So those Peacekeepers can barb and battle cry. Okay, so they are the people buffing up their comrades here. Probably people I want to get rid of first. But so far we're having not too much trouble there. I'm a bit more careful because those optional branches always tend to be a bit more dangerous than the rest of the game. That's why I'm taking it really careful. Don't know if I had to teleport on the situation back there. Maybe I would have been able to kill the summoner and clear out this situation without teleporting away, but better safe than sorry. Better being safe than sorry here. So Rune Spear, a unique ladder tang, okay. But it's +0. Sad. Rest of the stats are pretty nice, but nobody would like to have a +0 rendered weapon. You can easily get a better weapon by enchanting it yourself. So there's a bunch of Iron Brand Convokers here. We're killing the Hierophants. The Convoker is summoning more people. We've lost half our HP now. I'm gonna put up the Divine Shield. Maybe a bit too late. Think I should have started with this Divine Shield a bit earlier, but, well, looks like we're pretty okay here. Again, that's a good example why Minotaurs are that strong. I've killed a bunch of these people only by my retaliation blows, which feels kinda insane. So let's kill those Saltlings and the rest of these guys. So we're proceeding here pretty well. There are a few more Saltlings. They're the smallest and weakest people to meet here in the Salt Desolation. I really do like this optional branch. It's very interesting in its own theme and the enemy sets. I really do like it. So there's a unique plate armor. I'm gonna identify it before I wear it. So it's +7. It's strength +4, dex +6, but it has no resistances. Something I don't like. I don't need to see invisible ring. The Shining One provides me with see invisible. While stuff is in this halo, it's not possible to go invisible in here, so I don't need this ring. So a few more Saltlings and Peacekeepers, but it's nothing I worry about. So Maces and Flails hit 16 a while ago. I've turned this off the last episode, obviously. And by the looks of it, we're not changing anything on our skill training here. I want to keep my defenses up, because this Evening Star does all the damage I need, even with Maces and Flails 16. We don't need to increase this stat more. Absolutely no need to. So there's a unique whip. It's plus 10. Nice one, nice one. But still it's a whip, and whips are kind of like the weakest Maces and Flails, apart from clubs, one can get. So it looks like we're done here. We found some interesting ring and amulet options in here. Don't know if I'm gonna use them at all, but it's nice to have them, so let's check. I have an amulet of regeneration around my neck. And I think I'm gonna keep it like this and drop those 2 amulets here. I don't see myself wearing them anytime soon, so our inventory slots are limited. So there's a weapon emporium with a plus 8 crushing morning star. Interesting, but we got an evening star that's bigger here. And I wanted to have a look for enchant weapon. It's too much stuff here. So there are 2 scrolls left. I should pick those up later and put them on my evening star. There's no reason to not further enchant this evening star, in my opinion. So there go a few archers. I focused them above the knight, even though the knight does more damage. They keep blinking away here, like that. Can get a bit annoying to chase them down. Okay, so looks like Elf 1 is like absolutely no problem here, but something I've expected somehow. So this is a huge party here. Huge vault, mixed vault with orcs and elves. From my experience, there are always some orcs in the Elven Halls. It's like a raiding party of the orcs, trying to loot the Elven Halls. Little do they know that the elves can easily fend off these orcish invasions. The Scimitar of Holy Wrath would only be a problem if I was an unholy race, like mummies or vampires or demon spawn. There were 2 elven high priests here among them. Those are a bit more scary enemies because they can smite you, they can summon demons, they can call down damnation. That's a lot of nasty traits they put up, but, well, we smacked them. Long story short, we smacked them. So there's a unique, but it's only a low tier armor. It's nothing I'm too interested in anymore, sadly. But no. Well, the curiosity, I can't turn it down. So let's pick it up and at least. But I can't carry any more items. How's that? So I think I'm gonna get rid of those disabling wands, because I feel like without any training in evocations, well, this training is not sufficient to have a good chance on confusing the enemies or something like that. So nice armor if you like to wear +0 armor, that is. So in this vault we have some more dragons behind walls that can't be dug. I would have dug those walls and killed the dragons, but it's not gonna happen. So let's continue clearing the Elven Halls. And in my opinion, you shouldn't even enter the Elven Halls if you're not able to kill the higher tier elves, because in every single level of the Elven Halls you will meet a few high priests, annihilators, and elementalists, and all this ugly stuff you normally meet in Elf 3 in a bigger ratio, but they will show up here. So I got not mutated by those demons. I played too quickly to see which demons were summoned here. So we're proceeding to Elvish Halls 2 now. And there's a Wiz Lab on this level, so let's clear out these elves first and then magic map this level to see where's the Wizard Lab. Wizard Labs are really dangerous places, but they're also featuring high rewards in terms of good loot. So it's over there. Okay. So we're gonna clear out this elf pack before we go for the Wiz Lab. Let's scrap some elves to go. There's the scroll of enchant weapon. Let's put it on the evening star. So funny spiral. And let's see, it's Wucad Mu's monastery. This area is empty from the looks of it, but there will be a lot of people spawning here, always summons, so no experience. And in the end of this area there's a statue which summons all these ghosts. It's really dangerous if you're not strong enough to tackle down these summons. It's great draconian monks, that's the stuff you see down at Zod. And yeah, that's actually pretty spooky. But you also can't really ignore them. They're putting up too much damage to just ignore them. But looks like we're good here. I can pick them off without taking too much damage. It's only the draconian monks I'm having some problems with. So there's the statue of Wucad Mu. It has mass confusion, shadow creatures, draining gaze, brain feed. So my strategy here is gonna be to put up this potion of haste, and it has not much hit points, so I'm probably just run in, smack the statue, and we're done here. So there's the staff of Wucad Mu. It's a really strong staff of energy, I think. But, well, it's absolutely not interesting for me. So, there's a manual of spellcasting. Book of enchantments, that would be nice. And a potion of experience. That's something I like to see. So, what we're gonna train here. Not the stuff we're usually training, I think. I think I'm gonna put this into evocations. It's not much, but it's at least something. So we basically did this whole area only for the potion of experience and the manual of spellcasting. Yeah. Okay, so let's leave this place. Don't know if I really needed the potion of haste on this. I'm gonna drop the manual, but I really wanted to retrieve it. Felt like a shame to not bring it out of there. It's a 1% chance to banish me. That's okay. I think the high priests can't even call damnation, but I'm not too sure. I have to check the next high priest I meet. So, was kind of a disappointing Wiz Lab, but it's okay. The potion of experience was actually not too shabby. Although these potions of experience get less worth the longer you play. I mean, they're always worth something. You get, even if you're at level 27, you get some skill points for free. It's always nice to see. But potions of experience get really powerful when you find them on the lower level, in the early levels of the dungeon. Then then they're really game-changing when you can bring up some high stats you wouldn't achieve under normal circumstances that early. It's sweet stuff. But so far, the Elvish Halls are pretty easy for us, but that's kind of like always the case. If you have some decent resistances, some decent weapon, then Elf 1 and 2 are always pretty easy. So there's only this Hall of Living Blades left, but I'm gonna bail this. Don't want to do the Hall of Living Blades there. So it's Elf 3. I'm gonna magic map this level too, because I want to know where this nasty ending vault lives, and we're gonna put up an exclusion here to not travel in there by accident, because that's one place you don't want to auto-explore into. It's one of the most dangerous vaults the game has to offer. Definitely not the most dangerous one, but one of the most dangerous ones, definitely. If you blunder in there ill-prepared and just try to whack everything, you're more than likely dead. So, okay. I'm gonna kite this around the corner, kill the mage. And there's still some weird shapeshifter here. Got him down. No biggie. The Elven Halls love to have shapeshifters in it. So every time you see something weird in here that doesn't belong into the Elven Halls, chances are it's a shapeshifter. So Mara on L3. Damn. So Mara is a Rakshasa, a unique Rakshasa with Bolt of Fire. He can clone himself, and he clone us, and he can blink. So yeah, this is a very obnoxious fight. I went around the corner. I think I'm gonna try to put up the fight because I can't clear Elven Halls with Mara sticking around. It's not gonna happen. But this was actually one of the smoothest Mara kills I've done in my whole dungeon crawl time here. Don't even know if I even needed the Deva, but nah, feel safer with it. So there goes the final vault, and we're gonna prepare some things here. So we pick up the Wand of Digging and dig in this direction and dig in this direction, and while the situation is like this, everything has to walk straight into our faces to kill us. They have kind of like no option to kite into us and pelt us with spells from a distance. That's not gonna happen. So the elementalists tend to destroy your hidey holes with all this earth elemental spamming, and this is kind of a terrible situation. We have the Balrog in front of us, which can smite. We have a Hell Sentinel in our front, which can hurl damnation. But we have an angel. So I need to get rid of this elementalist ASAP. And this situation is getting really, really ugly and out of hand real quickly. So yeah, there goes the teleport. Main reason why this situation went out of hand was because our kill hole was compromised by the elementalist. So that's finally some good ring of resist electricity. It also replaces both of these at once, because it has resist poison and resist electricity. That's nice. It's really some useful item. So, let's return to the final vault carefully. We got missed by a bolt of lightning here. And this is a really, really spooky fight. But that's all the people we drew attention when we fought there. So we're gonna repeat our strategy of a hidey hole again here. So it's a crude morning star with venom rendard again. So we're shouting to get them close, and we always try to lure them now into this corner, because this way we can safely kill them as soon as they show their faces and they have no time to whack us with spells. This would be a nice ring if we weren't a follower of the Shining One. Shining One provides absolute negative resistance. So, okay. I wanted to kill the Blade Master first, but there was so many mages behind him, so I used him rather as an obstruction to their line of sight. So there's a rendered glaive with electrocution. Looks pretty juicy too, if you're a two-handed weapon wielder, that is. It's a trident of distortion. Scary stuff. Don't like them. Distortion weapons are so dangerous. But nothing bad happened. And we're now sitting at a position where I would say if I get banished into the abyss, then I would just chop my way out of there. We're level 23. That's strong enough to set out for a voyage down the abyss. So we got ancient armor. I'll probably put this on the large shield for now. And it looks like the most enemies down here are already dead. Alright, that's really good. So apart from one bit spooky situation, this Elf Hall clear was really smooth. Really smooth clear. Book of Annihilations, it's a really good book if you're into conjuring. So there goes a demonologist. I walk straight into his face and bash him before he can summon too many baddies. So there goes another ring. It's a ring of ice and dexterity. It's nothing we really want to have. A ring of intelligence. I'm getting lazy. I'm identifying those regular rings. You should, in fact, put them on and remove curse instead of identifying them. So, this is a sweet amulet. It has dex -4, which is a bit annoying, but we don't even notice it on our evasion rating. Has also regen, so we don't need this regeneration amulet anymore, and we have our leg permanently up with this amulet. Sweet. Our resistances are getting more and more well-rounded here. Let's see what the other treasure chamber has to offer. Not more than the other one, that is. Way less, actually. Alright, we're done here. We could pick up those morning stars, but I feel like my evening star is a lot stronger than those. So, we looked up for enchant weapon, and I want to pick up those scrolls and make my evening star better. Can be enchanted up to +9. That's exactly where we wanna end with this. So all this other stuff is in the vaults. Let's pick this up too. And now it's the question if we're gonna follow for the depths or go for vaults 5. But the decision is pretty easy. I'm gonna delay vaults 5 as long as possible here. So let's go for the depths. We type in the number 0 to stop our journey right here, because I really don't want to enter in there ill-prepared. So we have 2 pips of fire resistance, which I actually don't think I need. So I'm gonna put up the magic resistance here to have this near max, because, well, I feel more comfy with a insane amount of magic resistance. And these guys, they keep coming and coming. There's so many enemies here. It's one of those situations where I really think about just teleporting. But if it goes bad and you teleport somewhere in there, and yeah, you have no way back, it's too dangerous for me, for my taste here. So we're gonna go upstairs and downstairs and bring those enemies with us bit by bit. Okay, we're surrounded by 2 player ghosts by now. So this is the ogre fighter, and this is a formicid fighter. Lots of undead around us. I really don't like this situation here. So let's do this cleansing flame thing a few times actually. It should work even against those player ghosts, because I'm surrounded by a lot of undead people here. Yeah, that worked pretty well. We got rid of the player ghosts. Let's get upstairs. This didn't even cost too much piety here. So let's take those baddies up with us again. Okay. So this way you can clear through situations like these, but you can only do so if you're able to withstand those first few smacks, because you get very vulnerable while you're fleeing upstairs. The few versions ago this was a lot less punishing, but we abused it too much, so the devs kinda like made it harder to stair dance, a bit at least. So yeah, but it's still possible, as we can see here. And looks like we got rid of a lot of enemies now, and I think pretty soon we're able to explore this floor freely. So I'm leaving the entrance now because I feel like I can, but still there's a horde of Yaktars surrounding me, pelting me with thousands of bolts. But we're taking really not much damage in this situation, but don't want to get overconfident here. So there go the boggarts. I really want to get rid of those as fast as possible, because they're summoning so many enemies here. But he followed me upstairs, which was a terrible idea, because he got whacked here, just in the face. An iron dragon skeleton. Okay, so I think we're set. I think we're free to explore the depths now. Still a few Yaktars, but yeah. This area is finally cleared. What a fight. I think it was a good idea to go for the Elvish Halls first and put up a few levels before I went there. But I think I could have done the same thing before I went to Elvish Halls. Maybe. Okay, there goes the stone giant. I can't really do anything against his kiting. Ranged attacks, I mean. Another pack of boggarts, but we managed to take them out quickly. Boggarts are getting really dangerous if you can't see invisible. But as long as you can't see invisible, you gotta just chase them down and smack them. So this looks rather vaulty to me. Gotta be careful, because judging from the looks of it, there gotta be some nasty... well, it's an iron imp, that's not too scary. More gold, more gold, more gold, more gold. Okay, so this was a whole vault guarded by an iron imp. Okay. So we're heading downstairs to depths 2. So this troll pack is actually pretty dangerous. So we're taking them upstairs. Gonna start out with a mage from their team because he can mite those trolls. And mited trolls are pretty spooky, especially those trolls. The only thing that's more spooky are frenzied trolls. Okay, so there's this paralyzing eye. We took it out. Remember, with these eyeballs you can't resist their paralysis, but they need a bit of time to channel it up. So this sorcerer has a 0 chance to banish me. That's nice. And it looks like we've cleared this staircase. Glowing orange brain, but it's a shapeshifter. It's not what it seems to be. So we're standing here at a really, really bad spot. So let's put up the Divine Shield. There goes the Spriggan Berserker. I'm gonna leave this black bear here because it's kinda like one of the most harmless things that can stand beside us. Okay, so we survived this, but this was a really dangerous fight. Even for a Minotaur monk. Jokes aside. Combinations of these enemies always get a bit scary, in my opinion. So we're going hungry. Gonna eat some permafood. I have so much permafood. Not possibly gonna use this along this game. So there goes the Necromancer. We took him down pretty quickly. Ice Dragon, Etten. Oh, I'm gonna go for the Etten first. A wizard, but he thought it's a good idea to walk straight into my face. I disagreed. Showed him why it's not a good idea. Okay. So looks like we're pretty much stomping here through the depths. So this pack I wanted to at least kite it to the stairs. Finish off the Great Sphere of Ice. Okay, there go a lot more ugly things, and I'll just go upstairs with them and take them down before we continue down here. Let's just separate them more. Gonna take down the little ugly things first, then go for the big ones, and finally for the Tengu Warrior. Okay. So there goes another stone giant. There goes a wizard. Glowing orange brain. Okay. Rakshasa down, fire giant down. Looks like our resistances here are good enough for completing this area. Spriggan pack. Watch out for the Spriggan Berserkers. They can dish out surprisingly high amounts of damage when they go frenzy, and they have the ability to summon buddies. So there's an Abyss portal, but I don't think I'm gonna go for Abyss in this run. I think I'm gonna go for vaults. So again, I'm gonna take out the mages here first, and then the regular trolls. Okay, so there goes another stone giant, a few water elementals, but that's also nothing I'm spooked of anymore. Okay, so this looks like a more dangerous vault. I could dig into this if I wished for a hard fight here. There's even a caustic shrike in there. Well, I'm not too interested into diving in this affair here. The loot inside doesn't look too promising here, and it's a lot of dangerous enemies in there. Don't think it's worth the danger. At this point, we're so close to winning this game. Rather not go for some stupid little item vault. But I have to admit I'm really tempted. So let's have a look. This ring is unidentified for us. Which rings are left on our list? Which ring can it be? Fire, positive energy, corrosion, or slaying. Or a teleportation one. So, the main reason why I'm so spooked of this is the flayed ghost. No. Not gonna do this. There go a few spark wasps, but we're resistant to electricity by now, so they're not that much of a threat anymore. They're really dangerous if you're lacking the electricity resistance, and even with electricity resistance, don't take them easy. Most enemies in the late game which feature electricity damage are somewhat dangerous, even with the resistance. It's true for Nicola, it's true for electric serpents, it's true for electrical golems. Everything that features electricity damage is still pretty dangerous, and even when you got the proper resistance. Always take care of that. And also avoid standing near walls when you're up against enemies that are able to put up lightning bolts, because those can reflect back at you and hit you twice instead of just once. And that's where the big damage gets kicking in and stuff gets hard. So there's a Tango Reaver. They are basically like a combination of a warrior and a fighter. Pretty strong people. Strong bird people. Book of Frost, we don't need that, thank you. But by now we've got a lot of different books. And you can actually go for spellcasting when you're a Minotaur, especially when you want to go for a 15 rune run, which Minotaurs can do. I mean, every race can do a 15 rune run, don't get me wrong here. It's not like some races just can't do it, but every race that features a simple 3 rune win like the Minotaur is also very well suited for going for longer runs. But for this video we're just gonna go for a 3 rune run, vanilla, show you guys how easy it can be to win with a Minotaur, and a little luck. I admit that there's always a little luck involved in every single win, but the more you know about this game, the more you get into the mechanics and the knowledge of the enemies, the less important luck gets. I mean, I'm by no means a very, very, very good player, but I'm not a bad player either. And yet still there are a lot of things I don't know, a lot of misplays I do. I charged at this Vampire Knight because they have a lot of damage. And usually they can threaten you pretty hard with their hexes, if your magic resistance is not high enough, which is not our problem, but Vampire Knights like to come with a pack of Phantasmal Warriors which can halve your magic resistance. And even if your magic resistance is huge, with a Phantasmal Warrior around, it melts like ice in the sunshine. That's why I wanted to kill this knight as quick as possible. So there's a first Juggernaut. That's up to 120 damage from this guy. And let's put up the Divine Shield and slowly, carefully start attacking him. There comes a Titan from inside. Titans are really dangerous enemies if you're flying or lacking electricity resistance again. So I'm neither flying nor am I lacking electricity resistance, so I'm good to go against these guys. But this is a really spooky vault. Juggernauts are pretty hard enemies, and Titans are also pretty dangerous, but, well, it's only caster stuff inside here, which is a bit sad for me. And there's a ruined door inside, so I'm a bit tempted again. I'm always tempted if danger awaits. Always makes me feel like, ooh, I want to see what's in there. I want to see what they put up. Oh, I can't see actually. But this is a Spriggan Defender. Okay, so this ruined door is a hoax. Gonna open it though. So it's done. Okay, so speaking of done, looks like we're done here. Yeah. So off to depths 4 we go. And I'm getting more and more careful now. The deeper we delve into the depths, the more dangerous this place gets. So there's another entrance to hell. There goes another ring. Lazy ID scroll again. It's a ring of positive energy. And yeah. Shining one again. We don't need this stuff. Bunch of deep trolls. Nothing too scary here anymore. We're beating down these people pretty easily. So let's keep enchanting our large shield. It's gonna be a bit sad if we find a better large shield, but chances are we never will. So there's a gateway to a ziggurat. I'm really tempted to go through a few levels of this one. You don't need to finish a ziggurat, but can do a few levels and hope for some good loot in there. But you might as well get annihilated by a Pandemonium Lord or something in there. It's always a bit of a risk. But every reward in this game comes at some risk, sooner or later. Sometimes you find stuff that's simply unguarded and just lying around there. Too good to be true, but most of the time you gotta fight for your rewards. So there's a bunch of Hell Knights. I'm gonna step back to avoid all that fire magic a bit. This corridor is doing a lot of work for us. Okay. So we're punching through this pretty easily, and there goes Marjorie. She's always with a few Hell Knights, but I feel like, yeah, absolutely no big deal here. Okay. Sweet. There's a double sword. Really sweet stuff if you're a long blade wielder. So we can't put on these boots because we get interrupted by boot-hating trolls. They don't like us to put on our new boots. And we're also taking a lot of damage by these guys because they're hasted and mighted. And there goes Jory. Okay, maybe I've overlooked him the whole time. I think that's what happened here. So we're putting up our Divine Shield and gonna give him one or two. No. Here's the Hoodips. Not gonna mess around with this guy. I'm going to immediately summon a Deva and just kill this guy and get rid of him for good. Because he's got Crystal Spear and is a good melee fighter. That's a combination you gotta take seriously. Okay, that's Jory down. It's cool. Always like to have the more dangerous uniques killed, knowing that they can't come again. I'm a bit afraid I'll run into Boris at some point. Ooh. Okay. So this vault is really creeping me a bit. There's a lot of spellcasters and demons and a lot of spooky stuff. So there goes this brigand. Oh, this tormentor. No, 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 no. We're gonna teleport on this affair. Tormentors can, well, torment you, which halves your HP instantly. And that's pretty dangerous. And it was only summoned by this lich, so teleporting away and waiting a few turns will ultimately lead to the spawning of those. And I was already pretty low on HP. So this blizzard demon, though, we have to kill. We're near starving, by the way. Whoops. Didn't notice. Let's eat some royal jelly and continue killing these people here. There's still a lich around here. A few ice statues. But those are not too spooky, actually. So I put up a shout to lure those enemies out of those rooms, because I don't feel like fighting ice giants and ice dragons and ice statues at once. You gotta stop somewhere. Okay, so we're charging in, killing the ice statue pretty easily. Let's do the same thing on the other side. There goes the lich. He has summoned Greater Demon. That's a very spooky spell. But we managed to kill him. This time he didn't even summon a single demon, so it was really no big deal. And there's an ancient lich, so we're gonna bring an angel here, which will start whacking these guys from behind. Maybe a bit overkill, but when it comes down to liches and other really strong spellcasters, I don't think there's such thing like real overkill. So we have a pair of boots of flying. That's pretty nice. It's auto flying, and you can turn it off and on. It's pretty useful. So off to Depths 5 we go. So there's a tentacled monstrosity, an iron dragon, and no. Let's try another stairs. Because the monstrosity can constrict you on the stairs, and you can't go upstairs if you're constricted. I mean, I have strength 34. Chances are I can break free from this constriction pretty easily with this strength score. But, well, why risk something when I can win that easily here? So we got this. We divided them pretty good. There's the flayed ghost, and it goes down immediately. Flayed ghosts have a skill which subtracts a big portion of your HP instantly. You can't resist this, you get flayed by them, and then they tell you something about you have to suffer like I have suffered, blah blah, gibberish, yada yada. And long story short, this steals a big portion of your HP, 30 to 50 points with one usage, and the only way to get it back is to either kill this guy. There it happened. You can either kill this flayed ghost or run out of their range, and it wears off in time. But as soon as you kill the ghost, you immediately get those hit points back. This stuff only gets really ugly if the flayed ghost can stand behind his buddies, because he has this flaying effect is smite based, which means he needs no direct line of sight. He can do this above the heads of his buddies, and that's where this skill gets really scary. So there's a floating eye which paralyzed us. Ooh, this is bad. So we're waiting. The more button won't react. And maybe, yeah, we've lost connection. So I was thinking about this episode was long enough for now. I'm gonna take a break and hopefully we survive this situation. We'll see you again, guys. Thanks for watching, and hope you guys join for part 8 of the Minotaur Monk adventure. See you soon.